Hi everybody, I'm Nina with Sharing a Journey, and today we're going to talk about eyeshadows for mature women. I have before me my set of 5 favorites currently. I do love eyeshadow. I love experimenting with eyeshadow. It has become a lot more challenging as I've gotten older, but I am still an eyeshadow girl. And so I have 5 here that I think are really great for mature women, and you may be surprised by some of my choices. First up is the Charlotte Tilbury, and this is the Pillowtalk palette, and you'll be able to see that this is well loved. It has 2 matte shades and then kind of a frost or a shimmer, and then a very glittery shimmer. It's a beautiful palette. It blends beautifully. And yes, you will notice that the one that I have used very much is the shimmer. And you may say, well, as mature women, we're not supposed to wear shimmers. Well, I actually do. And let me just give you a couple of thoughts about that. I do apply a matte shadow in the crease area and at the outer edge. And then on the inner edge of the movable portion of my lid, I do add a little bit of a shimmer and sometimes even a little bit of glitter just for a sheen, just for fun, just for beauty. The colors, you will notice, I choose are quite conservative, so it's not that over the top, like, oh my gosh, what is she thinking kind of a thing. Nor is it so much of the shimmer that it brings attention to the lines and the texture that we have oftentimes in the crease area and above. This area oftentimes gets a little bit of texture, and that's where a lot of times a product that has a sheen will often sort of gather there or draw attention to the level of texture. So that's the reason why I use it just on my movable portion of my lid, and by movable, the part that goes up and down, and just in the inner corner, so that it just adds a little bit of fun. Now the next palette that I have to share with you today is the Naked Decay Basics palette. This is a great all-purpose palette. It's moderately priced, and I'm trying to open it. You will see a variety of light to medium to dark colors. They're all matte. There is a white, a yellow, kind of a light beige, or with a sort of a bit of a peach tone. There's sort of a neutral beige, and then a warm brown and a black. Now, these are so super versatile, and if you are a person that wants a moderate palette, really good quality, and all mattes, this is your jam. This is your jam. The other thing I like about it is that it's small, it travels well, the colors blend beautifully, and the light colors you can use as a base, and then the dark you can use as liner, as opposed to, you know, some people look at the dark on the end and they say, well, what am I going to do with black or dark brown? I like a more light and more neutral kind of a look. Well, I often will use these shades for eyeliner, and I'm actually finding as I've gotten older that using shadow instead of a liner pencil or a liquid liner, that works better to create a soft and gentle smudged line that we all are going for. Now the next palette, if you are more of a connoisseur and you love the finer things in life, the Tom Ford palette is a lovely palette. It is a quad that holds a cream, a kind of a warm brown for the crease, a warm deep brown, and then another brown. Now I tend to use these 3 colors. I haven't really delved into this more red shade, but I have found that this is a glorious palette, and if you love that extra bit of luxury and you want a beautiful matte palette, this Tom Ford may just be your jam. Now, if you are a little bit more, what could you say, adventurous when it comes to shadows, the Natasha Nonna palettes, these little minis, are a great value, and they have both matte and beautiful creamy shimmers. This is the nude palette that I have today, and I love this palette. It has kind of the golden beigey browns in it, and then it's got glorious shimmers. So if you like to have fun with your shadows and you have something nice for the crease, something nice to actually kind of line the eye and lift the eye at the outer corner, and then 3 shades to completely play with. This is a great price point too. It's $25 to try Natasha Nonna, and it is one of my very favorite palettes. Now the final palette that I have here for you today is a conservative but very elegant and beautiful palette by Marc Jacobs. These palettes came, look at how gorgeous this is, and this is the, let me just read this real quick for you. It's called the Glambition palette. It is also beautiful quality. It has the black, deep black, warm brown, peaches, golden browns, and some shimmers and some mattes all mixed together. Now the one thing I have found about this particular palette is that it is a very soft palette. I had it in my makeup case and I had to remove it because the black had sort of broken a little bit and it sort of got into the rest of the palette. So this is one that you need to set on the side, but it is a glorious palette and it is just beautiful for women who are interested in having that very classic, very neutral browns and with just a lovely pop. So that sums up my kind of neutrally kind of palette collection. These are my absolute favorite palettes. These are the ones that I am reaching for day in and day out because I do tend to be the person who typically wears the browns, the creams, the peach kind of shades, and as probably the one that I use the most is my Charlotte Tilbury Pillowtalk palette. It's just that great everyday. It brings out the color of both blue and green colored eyes, and it's just a beautiful palette, and especially for people that aren't really that interested in having a huge collection and typically will do their eyes in a similar way every day. Because I can tell you that I am definitely the person, the girl, who once I sort of learn a technique and I kind of think that it looks the best on me, then I tend to use that same technique over and over again, regardless of the color palette that I use. But that is just my story for you for today, and I hope that this helps, and I hope that that you find a palette that you absolutely love. Let me know in the comments if you've had experience with these palettes before and what your vote is if you've tried them. Thanks for watching. I hope you'll subscribe and join the community. See you next time.